So I just watched a video of the German woman who said that black women are no competition for the men in our community. And it really hurt me. And I'm going to explain why. And I'm being serious here. She and other women around the world are attacking the very foundation of what made families in our community and relationships strong. Empathy, love, caring, service, kindness, submission, togetherness, family. They are attacking what they see as a weakness. And they don't see that weakness as being on the side of the men in our community. They see that weakness being laid at the feet of the women in our community. For instance, she said he was surprised when she would say, hey, can I get you anything? Do you need anything to eat? Do you want some of my food? Can I make you some food? What can I do to make you happy? She said I would bring him fresh fruit and he would be surprised. You know, she would just basically be a caring, loving, empathetic girlfriend, a woman who cared about her man and who treated him with love and care and compassion and respect. The other thing that she says is she would never interrupt him, never raise her voice, never yell, never scream, would let him finish his thoughts, and then she would take her turn to talk without interruption. The reason why my heart was broken when she said that there is no competition there is because, with some exceptions, not all, she is right. She is right. The competition is no longer there because the things that she was saying that she does for her man seems like slavery to the women in our community. And if you go and look at the comments on the video, she is being justified. Her point is being proven by those comments. It's a very sad day. And something needs to drastically change in our community, or the men will simply create our community over again with other women.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Yeah, so in today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about a German woman who, quite frankly, has been going viral through the better part of this week, right? And it's what she said that made her go viral, guys.
Now, some Black Americans were in support of what she said. They saw the sense in what she said, and others straight up tore her down for what she said, thinking that she was putting herself above every Black American or every Black woman just because she's white and she knows she's been taught how to cater to a man. What are we talking about? Let's watch this video and then we come back and talk about it. But if you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel. You can also leave a comment on this same matter. Let's watch.
I already knew I had him because there was simply no competition out there for me. But let's just look at it objectively. You had this average Black American guy who now was able to choose between what he was dealing with before and somebody completely new. And let me tell you, the moment I stepped into that man's life, he really didn't know how to deal with my femininity because I was not loud. I was not screaming. I was not trying to, be louder than him. I didn't interrupt him because that's not something that I learned from home. If somebody would speak, and especially a man, you would let that man speak and then you would listen and then say whatever you have to say, right? So I was clean. I cooked. He didn't know what it was when a woman is actually in the room asking him, like, do you want something to drink? Before I got myself something to drink. Do you want something to eat? Before I started to eat my food, I would ask him, do you want to have a bite? I would come out of nowhere and just have a fruit bowl and just offer him some fruit. He didn't know none of this. So my husband, back then boyfriend, really thought this was a dream come true. He didn't know how to deal with none of this because all this me coming through, just being nurturing by nature, his peoples and his family didn't even do that for him. Like the family, there is no family unit. The average family, especially Black American family, has barely a family unit. There is no breakfast, lunch, and dinner at set times. And these are things that I introduced my husband to with my family. Can you imagine that impact that I had on him back then? So gentlemen, do not be afraid of traveling. There are so many more women out there who are willing to take care of you. It doesn't matter if they're young, it doesn't matter if they're older. They are willing to take care of you, willing to work with you, willing to be a part of your life. You don't have to deal with whatever you are dealing with back in your hometown because unfortunately, a lot of American women are lost in the delusional world that they are living in, and they don't even understand that they are going to be lonely for a long time, if not for the rest of their life. They say by choice, but I don't believe them.
This video is dedicated to that German woman who's on the internet in Black women's business. First of all, bitch, you're stupid because you clearly didn't do your research get on the internet just talking off the side of your mouth. You know nothing about black women. Only thing you know about black women is what that simp that striked out in America laid up and told you. You know nothing about us, and it's real clear. Because if you would have did your research, you would have known. You would know what black women have been through in this country and how we've been POP holding it down for years. First of all, for generations, most black women have not had the luxury to be feminine and soft and have a soft life. We've been out here in that field taking care of all kind of pale kids from slavery to after slavery. And then when we're afforded the ability to go get a job in corporate, in the warehouses, we still had to work. We've always had to work. Most of us. I work now. And guess what? America high as hell. Even the white women got to work here. It's not like how it used to be. Everybody got a job now. You know how I know white women work? Because I work with them. Okay? So while you over here in black American women business, you stay your ass in Germany to where you could be Molly the maid all day. Because we're not trying to be Molly the maid all day no more. Because we still got to go to work and be Molly the maid, raise kids. We don't got time for that. You don't know nothing about us over here. What was the point of your video? Don't you got a man? You trying to be a pick-me? Who you trying to be a pick-me to? Don't you got a man? You trying to get another one? Why are you on the internet talking about black women business? Because that video had no concern in it. You were not sincere. You're not trying to help nobody. You trying to down talk to be a pick-me. For who? Don't you got a man? Worry about him. You trying to get another one? Yeah, ho. I know you are. Mind your business, bitch.
My husband, back then boyfriend, really thought this was a dream come true. He didn't know how to deal with none of this because all this me coming through, just being nurturing by nature, his peoples and his family didn't even do that for him. You know, like the family, there is no family unit. The average family, especially.
So because her man didn't know how to choose a woman and he was so impressed with the bare minimum, you actually think that you know how black families are, how black women are. There is no competition. I feel like this is why I got played in my last relationship too. Thinking that because somebody doing what they supposed to do, that they actually really care about you. This person might just be decent. They not cheating on you because you ain't supposed to cheat on people. They not treating you like shit because you ain't supposed to treat people like shit. But that don't mean they want you for real. So it's the fact that you really act like you doing what you're supposed to do means that you more significant than anybody else. To think that your relationship with this individual and whatever past he had has anything to do with black people, families, and women, you delusional. I'm starting to feel like people who take pride in treating people the way you're supposed to treat people probably have never treated people the way you're supposed to treat people. I'm impressed when I go out of my way for my girl. Even if that was the case, I don't have no reason to act like that make me better than anybody. I just know that I care about this person more. And that's still about me and this person, nobody else. So I don't understand this video, but this is what people do all the time. This shit is stupid.
So guys, welcome back. Please leave us a comment on what you think about this episode. Personally, I feel like whatever the German woman said, she said it in some kind of condescending way, a way that she was trying to put all black women down. But did she say anything wrong? I feel like her statements, if they came from a different person, a black woman to be specific, it would have been received more differently than how it was received, because first of all, this is a white woman and she cannot start to pretend to know what happens in black homes. For her to generalize all black people and say that their families.
Another thing I have to say is that generally I feel like we've lost the traditional home training that people used to do or that used to be practiced in homes. It's generally not just in black American homes,
society, even white American society.
Exactly. Generally, it doesn't matter if you're coming from a black home or a white home. I feel like that traditional home training that used to be there during, back in the days, I feel like that is lost.
And it's not only women alone who've not been trained how to be wives. I feel like to some degree, to some extent, men of today, some of them also don't know how to be husbands.
Yeah,
it's not just about women not being wives.
Right. It's something that has to be learned.
Right.
I feel like it would be quite unfair to attack, because I, as a black person, I wouldn't pretend to go into white people business and pretend to know that
What happens in
in
their
their culture,
homes.
and pretend to know that they fail because there are those things that you can see that this is what is making them become like have a weaker family, what you call them, family values or
Family
orientation.
structure.
One thing I can bring up is that the way they discipline their children, that is something you can talk about, but I can't pretend to come forward and say and start suggesting that white mothers fail because of this and this and this.
And then, guys, if you're looking at the history between black women and white women, you really cannot compare where they're coming from. Because long time ago, during the slavery era, colonial era, and all of that, well, women were being made to cater to men, but most especially black women, their place was that of servitude. It wasn't even about catering for any man or for catering. They were also being forced to cater for white women and their children. While white women were being held at a higher regard than black women.
So
and then,
I really do understand
Yeah,
why
when-
it's so triggering for
for
this
black
German
women,
lady.
also
Yeah.
for black women. I understand why it's so triggering for black women when this German lady, a white German lady, comes out and says, "You guys, we are better than you,
It's
and
no
it's
competition.
no
This is why you're
competition. This
losing
is
your
why you're
men."
losing your men. You guys are lower than us." It's just nasty.
There might be some truth to
Of
what
course,
she says.
there's
'Cause
truth to what she says.
yeah, guys, if we are having an honest conversation, an honest dialogue, tell me what is not true that this woman is saying about.
It's just that she was in the wrong skin while saying it, and she was condescending about it.
Right, because if I give you a good example right now, you could also argue that there's a lot of foreign men who are coming to Africa to take up African wives, and what do they famously say? That African wives are submissive, and that is where some people get the culture shock of their lives because, because even African women, they used to live, and I'm not trying to bring Africans into the business of black Americans, I'm just using, no disrespect,
context.
I'm just using this for context, okay? African women used to live under men for so long in Africa that I feel like when they started, they were being introduced
These
to
organizations
education.
of feminism, and then education came up, and then also girl child rights came up.
Women could start working, and because a lot of times, even here in Kenya, men, if you don't find a good man and he happens to be rich and you don't have a job, they're gonna use finance as a means of controlling you, and that is kind of like something that women were trying to pull away from. Is why when they found their independence, they felt like I no longer have to serve a man. But what Maureen and I normally say, guys, if a woman finds, it doesn't matter if you're Kim Kardashian, it doesn't matter if you're Kelly Rowland,
And
it doesn't matter if you're
you're-
Maureen from Africa.
Right. If a woman finds a true leader in a man, a man
good
she's
man.
intending to marry, that woman, it doesn't matter how much money you have or you don't have. If you're a true leader and you show this woman you can lead the family well, this woman automatically becomes submissive. It has to start with the head of the family. If the head is correct, the rest of the body becomes aligned to the head.
It's what we say.
It's what we
Another thing
say.
I have to say, Maureen, is that we're living in a reciprocal society. What do I mean by that? If you find, let's say, a man and you're in a relationship, that man expects, if he's doing something for you, you have to give something in return. That is what I'm calling a reciprocated relationship. You can't expect that you get into a relationship with a woman and this woman, she does everything at home, because guys, it's not easy, does everything. You wash the dishes, take care of the house, take care of the kids, everything, and then you can't expect that same woman, you come back home and for instance, I'm just using this as an example. You come back home, you're abusive, you don't take care of this person emotionally as a man, and just like there's no reciprocation in that type of situation. You don't expect to live well with this person. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it makes sense. We live in a reciprocal society. Like a woman expects this from a man and the man expects this from a woman, and there has to be respect from both sides. I feel. I don't know.
So guys, let us know what you think about this episode and about what the German lady said, and about some of the comments we've reacted to from the pieces we've pieced together. And also remember to comment and subscribe if you've not, and we'll see you on our next episode.